welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Amit Shah made it absolutely clear today that there's no going back on the CAA, despite whatever amount of pressure certain groups may be putting in, or to try and polarize the atmosphere, go to the Supreme Court, try and make ethical issues, raise certain aspects of the Constitution. But Amit Shah says there's nothing illegal about CAA and there's no going back. Viewers, it's not just about a political position that Amit Shah or Prime Minister Narendra Modi take. The question is, are we all educated enough about the CAA? Do we know enough? And I'm repeatedly going to keep making this point over the next few days, because we must remember that over 55 people were killed because we did not know enough about the CAA, or rather we did not bother to know enough about the CAA. And hence this time we want to make sure here at Republic that ignorance cannot be an excuse. And therefore on the program tonight, I'm delighted to share with you that I'm inviting India's foremost jurist, top Supreme Court lawyer, legal eagle, and King's Counsel, Harish Salve. Harish Salve is, as you will doubtless agree, the last word on such constitutional issues. Tonight you will hear him on the program live in a few minutes, elevating the debate beyond technicalities. I spoke to Harish Salve some time back, and I pleaded with him to come on the program after I heard him argue. Because Harish Salve's fundamental argument is that there is absolutely no question of discrimination. His second main point is, instead of getting into technicalities and 6A and application of this law and that clause, his fundamental argument is that does the government of the day have the right to determine national policy? Or is every policy decision of the government going to be questioned by the courts, or going to be put up for question by the courts? The decision on who to bring in or allow as a citizen of India is a policy decision of the government, which cannot be taken away by the government from anyone. It's as fundamental as saying that does the elected government of India have the right to decide the foreign policy of the country? Tomorrow, if things go on, then Assaduddin Owaisi will say tomorrow that the elected government does not have a right to determine foreign policy. To which I will also put my own logic, ladies and gentlemen. This whole bleeding heart group, whose hearts keep bleeding for anyone and everyone, at will or as a matter of convenience. The bleeding heart group, when you tell them Hindus will be brought in, a few Hindus, a handful of Hindus, a few Parsis, a few Sikhs, and very few Buddhists will be allowed to come into the country. They said, why? Why not Muslims? Why not this? Why not that? And another ridiculous argument I've heard of late, just as a rhetorical point which makes no sense to me, why not Jews? Well, to those who put this argument, why not Jews? I'd say, why not Icelanders by this logic? Why not Mauritians? Why not South Africans? And if you add the angle of, oh, but you are talking about those who are dispossessed and those who are underprivileged, or those who are facing a tough time who may not be Hindus, then I'd like to ask them that would they say tomorrow that half the population of Iran, the women of Iran, who are being discriminated because of the extremely sexist laws, the misogynistic treatment, and the brutal abuse of the Iranian government of Muslim women who are fighting against the hijab in Iran, should we say today that all Iranian women should be allowed and made citizens of the country? Viewers, it makes no sense. Harish Salve will present a cogent argument, which I want you to respond to, and you can tell me whether or not you agree with him. I think that's going to be a fascinating start to the program, followed by a sharp debate on that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very interesting, what I would call an explainer on the CAA. So in case you had any doubts about what the CAA is or misgivings about it in any way, then you must tune into that.